I had a chance talking to some officials in municipality.
Yes.
He gave me a very great stance about this. They attacked the public transportation system, the firefighters, the fire
Also
stations.
fire stations were
Exactly.
attacked.
And ambulances. So what are these things? Putting more pressure on people and more dissatisfaction.
For me, as to understand this, and you can correct me, but I think that they were trying to gradually make people dissatisfied with the public services and the state so they can join the protest. Good day, I'm Hadi Hotait from Free Palestine TV. We are right now on the eastern side of the Iranian capital, Tehran, and we are standing in front of Ayatollah Shahid Beheshti Mosque. This mosque was one of many mosques that were burnt during the riot that happened last month. Before we go inside to check what happened, I ask you to go to our website, freepalestine.video, and subscribe to our channels on social media and donate for us to be able to continue this reporting. As we witnessed when we were visiting the riot sites here in Tehran, the rioters were focusing on attacking these locations like mosques, firefighter stations and bus stations and District 5 building and municipality facilities. We're gonna learn more about this site and what happened to it. We have with us Mr. Mahmoud Pirhayati, who is a journalist and a news editor in Press TV. Mr. Mahmoud, I want to start by asking you, when you heard that the rioters were attacking mosques, how did this affected you? How did you react to this?
First of all, thank you very much indeed for having me. The moment that we heard the news that the mosques and the places of worship have been set on fire, it was really, really depressing for all of us. Mm-hmm. You know, for hundreds of years, Iran has been a cradle of different religions and different civilizations, like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Zoroastrians. So the moment that the news broke out, all the religious communities of Iran, they were shocked because of what the rioters and saboteurs were actually doing in Iran. Because those people who carry such acts of terror and acts of sabotage, they are the people who are opposed to faith and religion, no matter what it might be.
And faith and religion here in Iran is a crucial part of the society and the culture of the society. It's not just something that you can dismiss when you want to address the Iranian people. So it was also shocking for us outside Iran, people from outside Iran, when we heard about this, and when I also witnessed, I went to Saadat Abad and witnessed also the mosque, the famous mosque there that was burned. We were shocked how those people who are claiming that they are representing the Iranian people, they are burning the symbol of the main cultural identity of the Iranian people.
The true fact is that those people who carry out and perpetrate such acts, they have no respect whatsoever for humanity and the fallout of what they are doing. You know, people are congregating in such places, they are doing their prayers, they are saying their prayers. Those people, those innocent people who are inside, they might get killed or they might get badly
and this is what happened.
Injured.
Let's just check the renovation process here. And, oh, so the entire mosque has been burned.
Yeah, exactly. As you can see, okay, the entire mosque was set on fire. And now they have just started the renovation, as you can see around. People are actually collecting the debris and the rubble. The renovation process has just started.
It's a good sign to see that people here immediately are renovating these important places, as it is important for the people to return to their normal life.
Exactly.
Regarding everything that is related to their daily life, like prayers and these religious sites.
You know, Iranians are the nation that they easily get to the normalcy because for decades, especially after the victory of the 1979 Islamic Revolution, they have gone through different forms of hardship. So they easily find their way in order to get to the normal life and the normalcy.
It's very good, despite that we are very shocked and sad by witnessing this terrorist act on attacking a cultural religious site in Tehran. But it's good to see that people here have the will to start renovating immediately, and inshallah next time we visit it, it will be fixed.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
We are right now standing in the bus station in the eastern side of Tehran. This bus station is responsible for providing about more than 100 buses for the PRT lines inside the eastern side of Tehran to help the people, to service the people to go inside and outside the areas of Tehran without making lots of traffic, of course. And this is one major part of public services provided by the state for the Iranian people inside Tehran. This bus station right now became some kind of museum for the buses that were set into fire by the rioters during the riots that happened in the late in January, between 8, 9, 10 January at most. Most of the riots happened between these times. We have been told that 22 buses were set on fire by the rioters in all of Tehran in different locations. Of course, right now you are seeing all the buses gathered here, but these buses were transported to this area after the riots settled and after everything returned to its safe situation. I saw some of these buses on the squares in Maidan Azadi, in Maidan in Sadiqiyeh Square, and in other locations in Maidan Inqilab. We have been told that the amount of losses in these buses is about 600 billion tuman, which is, I suppose it's something about $4 million, which is a lot, of course, for something like a bus station inside Tehran. Of course, I will be asking about more information. We're gonna have our dear friend, he's a famous journalist in Press TV, Alireza Akbari. I'm glad that you're joining us.
Thank you, thanks for being here.
Can you please tell us first, as an Iranian, how much important these public services are for the Iranian people inside Tehran?
You know, in terms of the economy of the people here in Tehran.
For example, how much you pay to get inside them, how much they are used by the people, who uses them more than others?
Yeah, and just 3,000 you can pay, and you can circulate around Tehran. So the average money and the cost that you're paying, it is suitable for all people. And besides economic issues, I can say that because there is heavy traffic, people prefer using the fast lane of buses. So this is not only used by the normal people, also the people who are rich, they prefer this type of transportation. It is vital for the city.
Since when these buses were implemented here inside?
Since I think the time that Mr. Ghalibaf was the mayor of Tehran, we had.
So it's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is. But it wasn't that much developed, and like the thing that you're seeing here, no, it was not. And one more important point, Hadi, take a look at this bus.
Yes.
It is somehow different. Do you see, compared with the other ones? Yes, it's different
from the others, yes.
Yeah, because I had a chance talking to officials in municipality. They told me not only the only buses, but some newly purchased buses were
this is a newly purchased bus.
Exactly true.
So, of course, $4 million as losses for the bus station here is not something small. But here we have not all the quantity that was burned. Some buses belong to the other sides of Tehran.
Yeah, this
is only the eastern
part of Tehran.
Sector of Tehran. If we want to just share with the audience what the bus drivers were telling us, and not bother them with the translation.
Yeah, okay.
I will ask you what they were about what they were saying. He spoke about how he was taken outside his bus, and the bus was burned by the rioters.
Yeah.
They were young people, and one of them or two of them were carrying the burning materials, and they throw them inside the buses. So, as an Iranian, how this was received by the people who learned about this from the news or saw it directly in front of them on the street?
Yeah, exactly.
How the people were reacting with this tactic from the rioters?
Actually, my first-hand story, I can say my mom witnessed this story, and because she's
Your mother?
using, yes, my mother,
Yes,
because she was using this type of transportation every day, and she told me that me, along with two other women, we were inside the bus, and we suddenly saw that a group of people circulated the bus, and they were breaking the glasses, and they were shouting. They were somehow. She said it was me and another woman with her children. And we suddenly ran outside the bus. This was the first-hand story that my mother told me.
Okay.
And she has some allergy, and she said that because of the burning and the smell, she couldn't breathe very well that night.
It's dangerous, very dangerous smoke. Of course, all these metal, now we only see the metal structure. All of this was covered with this fabric, this thick, heavy fabric that will burn immediately when you set fire to it. Definitely they knew this, and they break in the glass.
How to do it.
They throw some materials like diesel and oil,
Exactly,
and
true.
which will definitely mean that the fire will eat the bus in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and as the bus driver told me that they were using this type of substances, as you can take it.
This is an improvised
totally handmade.
device to make sure that however it was thrown on the street, the wheel will step on it, and it will of course penetrate the wheel and cause the bus to stop. How did they use this?
They were throwing bunch of them, as the bus driver told me. Bunch of them they were throwing on the street. As you can see, one angle is upside down, because every position that you're giving to it, at least there is one angle upside down.
And
so they were throwing
yes.
bunch of them
Yes.
in front of these buses.
When they were on their lanes.
On their lanes. So there is a heavy traffic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the story is the street is closed.
And they set chain fire on the buses.
Exactly true. And the bus driver was telling me that this is my job. I'm working with these buses for some 20 years, but I cannot climb this bus very easily. But they did it in less than 2 minutes.
So obviously they were trained, or someone taught them how to do it in the fastest way.
Exactly true.
The fastest time, so they will be very efficient in this. Of course, when seeing the amount of destroyed buses, we can understand that many teams are working together, because all of this happened, I think, between 8, 9, 10 January.
Exactly
most of
true.
this, right?
Most
it's
of
not
them.
all of it. Because I was here on 11 January, and I circulated most of Tehran. I can say I went from South Tehran to North Tehran and to the west of Tehran. And I did not see real riots then.
Yeah.
So mostly all of this happened in 2 or 3 nights, which means that many teams were working on this and were trained to do this in the same time. For me, as to understand this, and you can correct me, but I think that they were trying to gradually make people dissatisfied with the public services and the state, so they can join the protests, because they were not joining the riots initially, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Hadi, I had a chance talking to some officials in municipality.
Yes.
He gave me a very great stance about this. They attacked the public transportation system, the firefighters, the fire stations.
Fire stations.
Exactly. And ambulances. So what are these things? Putting more pressure on people and more dissatisfaction. So hours after this happened, so people should wait in the bus lane for a longer time. That you are setting fire to a fire truck, which is totally fireproof, within less than a few minutes. So if after that, a normal citizen.
I saw the fire truck in front of Danishgah, Tehran.
Yeah, it was
It
there.
was displayed there. It was burned, of course, by
And the
them.
firefighters were telling me that this is fireproof. How can a normal citizen set fire to this fire truck within less than 3 minutes? Or how can they move it? It is not easy because they were in the middle of operation and the fire trucks were providing and supplying water. So how did they release the gear and moved it and set fire?
And sadly, we have witnessed when we were right now in the police station that these incidents, the setting fire in public places and services, was not only costly regarding materials, buses, and firefighters. Also, we have sadly witnessed lots of burned bodies for
Exactly
Iranian
true.
people. And it was very, honestly, it was very hurting to
Yeah,
see
it is.
these images of burned bodies like this, and you can only imagine the situation. And also we witnessed how the people who were filming were crying and were emotionally, of course, touched by seeing their own the citizens of
exactly. Their
Tehran being
friends.
burned alive.
Yeah, exactly. And Hadi, something that is strange for me is that they were setting fire to the fire station and they were setting fire the other location in the city. So if you set fire, you need a fire station.
Oh,
both
so-
of them at the same time.
Oh, so this is even more complicated.
Yeah, it is.
It means that there was maybe a joint operation room
Exactly
that is
true.
guiding both sides or all the teams on
Yeah.
the ground to make the maximum damage.
And as the bus driver told me that all these gatherings, they were listening to a single person. If he said set fire, they would do it. Stop beating, they would do it. They would listen to a single person.
So this is
That's
how we
guidance.
can maybe understand why the government here decided to cut completely the communications
Yeah.
and the internet here
It might
to try to stop this damage against the Iranian people that was being coordinated by some kind of room that we don't know if it was inside Iran or outside Iran.
Yeah, exactly. It might be. And as I told you, a kind of a story in the case of how they were connecting each other, they were doing it in person. Just to evade these internet shutdown
Yes.
and not to lose their connections and carry out these
They were sending
acts of terror.
messengers
Exactly
between each
true.
other.
Or visiting each other in public places like parks and restaurants.
Okay, definitely we can do lots of analysis, but I will right now leave this to another location where another damage from the riots happened. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ali, a lot.
Anytime, brother.
It was a sad situation to see that this was described as a revolution to
Yeah.
save the Iranian people
Freedom.
from their, I don't know what they were saving
Well,
their,
how do I
their
think-
people from, but definitely for me, I would never understand how they were thinking of gaining public support by burning the public services that is supporting the people to stay and to have a stable life here in Tehran.
It might be. Or maybe Donald Trump, when he said helps are on the way, he might mean this kind of help. To me, this is not a help.
Definitely, we
for
know
Iranian
what
people.
is the American help and how it's how they have been helping our people in the region in the last decades.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Again.
You're welcome. Anytime.
We went into another location in north of Tehran, in the province of Sa'adat Abad. This location that is known for its amazing beauty and green areas, and it's one of the luxurious neighborhoods or regions in Tehran. It's here everyone likes to come to have a good time and to go to the fancy coffee shops and restaurants that are everywhere in this location. This was one of the mosques in the area. It's one of the most known historic mosques that people don't only use it for daily prayers. They go to this mosque on holidays. They go also to celebrate their weddings and their ceremonies, and they use it for different social occasions. This mosque was set to fire. It was one of the last mosques, I think, because I was here when they burned it, and I came here when the firefighters were trying to extinguish the fire. Very sad that the fire destroyed a part of the mosque, as you can see, and also inside it, this part from the inside was burned. The other part was open later. Now it's closed, but it was open when I come, and it was still not totally damaged, although the black smoke, of course, it's all over the walls. And the beautiful, it's inside this mosque, it's a masterpiece of tiles, and also the writings in Farsi and in Arabic, and the Quranic verses that decorate the entire inside of this mosque, as most of the historic mosques in Tehran and in Iran. Right now, this will be the last location I will be able to visit it today. A part of our team was busy today in doing some interviews with the TV. So basically our friend Laith was not able to make it. I hope that you find this content informative about what was happening inside Iran during the internet blackout and all of what was being exaggerated outside it. They spoke about a revolution from the people to overthrow the government, but on the ground there were rioters setting mosques to fire and destroying public places, bus stations, firefighter stations, attacking policemen, and trying to destabilize the daily life of the Iranian people in order to try to bring them to a more pressured situation where they might join the riots against the government and the state. This project failed, and we can only witness these traces of the so-called revolution. But until now, we can say that the only true revolution that the Iranian people did was the 1979 Islamic Revolution that overthrew the Shah, who was a proxy for the US and Israel, and made Iran this great nation that right now we are enjoying coming here and knowing that we are in a place where the state is not cooperating with the Zionists and with the imperialist child killers regime that are everywhere in this world. I hope that you will follow Free Palestine TV. Go to our website, freepalestine.video. Please also donate so we can continue bringing you this content from Saadat Abad in north of the Iranian capital, Tehran. Me, Hadi Hotait, and Rabih Ghannam behind the camera. We hope that we will be able to bring you more content from Iran in the next few days. Until then, we bid you a free Palestine, free Lebanon, and a free Iran from all signs of Zionist and imperialist powers.